Bonjour, Coptu.
Bonjour, Gustavo.
Explain about you.
Me, number one, I'm just a human being like everyone else, but I'm a graffiti artist, from the early 80s of New York City. I started in the subway cars, so I'm basically a Bronx, New York City graffiti legend. When I started, you could say, watching the trains in like 78, 79, 1978, 79, when I was a kid, watching the trains go by and watching all the graffiti and all the pieces roll by. And that is what really sparked the fire in me. It was there, but it was a cousin of mine, Chico, who used to do graffiti in the neighborhood, and he inspired me. I used to watch him tag in the neighborhood, and then I started to meet other graffiti writers in the neighborhood, and it started to come together, and before you know it, I started painting trains, and about probably 1980, 81, I was already tagging on them, and that's how it all started. Wow, it's phenomenal. It's, I'm more of a traditional graffiti artist. I like the old stuff from like the graffiti artists and the writers before me from the 70s, like Peanut 2, Tracy 168, Case 2, T-Kid, Comet Blade, Mitch 77. I love that type of graffiti. To me, that's like, that's what I love the most, but, through the years, through the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and worldwide, graffiti has become just beyond phenomenal. It's just worldwide. It's, I travel the world. I've been to Sao Paulo, I've been to Tokyo, I've been to Poland, I've been to all over Germany, France, and Moscow, Russia, and the graffiti is just, it's there, it's everywhere, it's insane, and to just see the way other artists and graffiti writers, the way they think, the way they put their colors, their styles, it just always is just continuing a continuous growth of energy and color. It's nonstop, and it'll be here when I'm gone, 20, 30, probably 50 years after me. It's a phenomenal art, graffiti, and it comes in so many ways and so many styles. It's like its own world, which is cool about it. It's like, it's its own world, graffiti art, You have contemporary, you got fine, you got modern art, you got abstract, but then you got graffiti art, and it's like its own world. In 2000, I did a video, Cope 2, Kings Destroy. It was worldwide. And coming from the Bronx, I knew a lot of people and rappers like KRS-One, Fat Joe, and they were graffiti artists too, and just I guess continuing and doing what I was doing and staying focused on my art, I became more successful in doing collaborations with Converse sneakers and Adidas sneakers. And I did something with Time magazine and video games, and Mark Echo when he did the video game Getting Up, Contents Under Pressure. I was one of the legends in the game, with Futura and Obey and Scene and T-Kid. So many projects started to come. So I started to meet more and more big artists as well, and big people. So, which was good, and it's good for an artist, like me, coming from the South Bronx, being a hardcore graffiti artist and transitioning slowly into like kind of the art graffiti world, which was kind of hard. The difference is, I think New York is New York is the motherland. We're the mecca of graffiti art. We started it, this is the birth of hip hop, New York graffiti. So I guess, I stay more traditional style, New York style is what I do. you know, because I was taught from my mentor, like Case 2 and Delta 2 showed me, D-Row showed me how to be real clean. You know, I got taught by good artists, TK170. So I got that old school graffiti New York style, which is, you know, I always try to stay like a New York purist in style. But, you know, I mean, Europe style is just insane. It's insane, you know, like I said before, the way they've taken graffiti art to another level with huge walls and huge, you know, characters, you know. I mean, we had b-boy characters and stuff like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, you got huge crews in New York that can do really big murals. But I think Europe has just taken it to a level that's just beyond and nonstop. You know, their style is more than, you know, I guess I've seen styles, it was just unbelievable, the styles they have in Europe, you know. And I could say they're better, but then again, it's hard to say that because, you know, we are the teachers. We taught the world. You know, it came from here, and they took it from us and took it to another level. And I'm pretty happy, you know, to see that. Even if they are better, it's cool. You know, it's like you're a master in Jeet Kune Do, and you teach or you're a boxing champion, and you teach, the person under you that wants to learn and be like you, and they become better. It's cool because, you know, you taught them something and they became better because of you. So Europe is better in a sense because of New York, you know, and I'm sure they honor us in many ways because they just continue to get better and better and better. And it's phenomenal, you know. It's really, you know, the graffiti art, the way it's just gotten better worldwide. I mean, I've been trying to, I've been going to France pretty much since like 2000, 2001. I went to Paris. I used to go to this event called Cosmopolite with the Mac crew, with Congo. You know, he used to organize this with his Mac crew at that time. And you know, I was still doing graffiti, and I started to do little canvases here and there. But in 2003, they did a book. It was a writer from Mac crew called Oris and Mir. They did a book on me called Cope 2 True Legend in 2003, and it was printed. It was 275 full color pages, and it was hardcover. I think it was sold around 5,000 copies worldwide. So being that book, my first book being done in Paris, kind of, you know, gave me a little boost because the book was really great. It was successful. And I started to meet a lot of people, you know, dealing with galleries as well in Paris and in France. And I remember meeting a gallery, Math Goth, and they gave me a show, exhibition. I started to meet more and more people that were connected with galleries, which was great because I started to transition more into artwork and doing paintings instead of doing walls. So before you know it, I was doing exhibitions and auctions and Art Curial and painting live at the Guard auction and doing a lot of things with art instead of just graffiti, doing a lot of things with the graffiti and street art in the gallery and the auctions. So before you know it, I started to become bigger in France. And I think in France, in the sense that they like, you know, more of the New York legendary artists, like graffiti artists. They like it more. They give it more respect. They're willing to work more with old school writers from New York. You know, you got John One, who's like Picasso in Paris and in France. He's a friend of mine from like the early 80s when we painted subway cars and we used to smoke weed together and go to the fun house clubs. You know, he went to Paris early, like I think it was 85, 86, and he just became huge. You know, he's huge. But I think the French galleries that like old graffiti from New York, you know, they really, maybe that's why they like to work with me, because I'm an old New York legendary graffiti artist, like other artists like Futura and Crash and Days, you know, T-Kid. These are artists seen, they've been doing galleries in Europe for a long time already. So it kind of helps. They kind of open the door for artists like me as well. It depends, you know, I take it as you know, one day at a time. Well, right now, tomorrow, I think today, as a matter of fact, I have a painting in I don't know if you ever heard of Burning Man, and they have like a collaboration with Sotheby's, and I have a piece in there. So that's up now on Sotheby's website. And then I'm working on a show in Barcelona for November. So it's just so many projects. I got people email me all the time for projects. So I just go, I guess I follow the path that God has given me, because I've been through so much in life, and this path, being an artist, has blessed me in many ways. So I just take it, I try to be humble now, try to be more peaceful, and just stay focused, and try to be positive with my work, and just go where God takes me in my, like Big Daddy Kane says, in one of his tracks, he goes, I'm walking the path that Allah made. Allah is just God in Arabic. I'm not into religions, but I just, I feel God has blessed me, so I feel it, and I go where he takes me. And, I just try to live life peacefully as best as possible, and just continuing with my artwork, because, when I'm dead and gone, the art always stays, and it goes and it goes. And me as an artist, I paint every day, even in my studio. So I don't post everything, I don't sell everything. So like, this show here I had here in one art space, I take all the artwork and I put it in storage. So when I'm gone, maybe 20, 30 years from now, my kids and grandkids can take my work and they can sell it. So I have like thousands of artwork put away from my collection, and I buy artwork from a lot of artists, because I see artists like Ramosi was a friend of mine, Dondi, you see these guys who passed away and their work has gone so much. You see it in auctions and galleries, you're like, wow. I mean, they had no kids, from what I know, they didn't leave any kids behind, but it's crazy and amazing how I can go to an art show and see an amazing Dondi piece, one of my idols as well, and see his work, and he's gone so many years. So the artwork outlives us, which is really phenomenal. Like Basquiat is, for an example, he's one of my idols too, watching Basquiat. And I've been to a few of his art exhibitions, and to think that he's gone, he's died, passed away so many years, but his art is still here. It's phenomenal to see that. And I want that too, because we all die, and in time, when you're gone, your art will still be there. People can see it in museums and galleries and collections. And that's the amazing thing about being an artist, which is cool. You can be a tax lawyer, you can work cleaning floors. You pass away, your family will remember you. But the cool thing about art, it's like it lives on forever, your artwork. You go to the Louvre in France, in Paris, you see the paintings there of artists that died probably, 100 years ago? That's insane. Like, I love that stuff, because you get to see their work. And this is probably a person who did this oil painting that's so amazing, and you're like, wow. And that person is probably passed 100, 200 years ago, who knows? But his work is there, and you're able to enjoy it, and his energy when he was alive, which is so, to me, phenomenal about being an artist.
Fabian, thank you very much, my
Thank
friend.
you, my brother.
Thank you.
You. God's the greatest. Cool.
Você tem dengue, né? I'm very surprised.